In this Photoshop tutorial, I'm going to show you how to create Caught in a Bubble. So the first step is to take some photographs of bubbles, and I have some black construction paper for you to tape on the wall outside, and these are the 3 photos that I caught with my phone. You can use a school camera as well, but you can see there's not really enough bubbles in any one photo, so we're going to combine the photos together, and here is what the end result is going to look like. And you can see we have a couple figures caught in these little bubbles. So step 1 is I'm going to, this is going to be my base bubble layer. I'm going to click over to that photo, select all, and copy, and then paste that on top. You can see in the layers panel I have 2 layers now, and if I click on the this little panel right here, instead of normal, I'm going to select overlay. And now you can see both sets of bubbles on top of each other. I'll do that for one more bubble photo. Select all, edit copy, and paste that on top, and select overlay. Okay, so that looks pretty good, except it's very light and I want that black background to appear. So I'm going to the adjustment layer icon and selecting curves. I don't know if we've used curves before this year, but I'm going to drag this, it's called the black point, just right over until the pixels start, and the white point down a little bit as well. And then I'm going to create this, I'm just going to click on this little this diagonal line and bring this down until I like it. I love those rainbow colors that are appearing in the bubbles. That looks pretty cool, but I don't want it completely dark because I want to be able to see through the bubbles. So somewhere in there is good for my photos. Yours might be a little bit different. Now we need to go and find photos of figures that we're going to put in the bubbles, and I have these 2 here. They should be full figures, right, from top to bottom, so that the bubble, it's not cropped off on the edge of the bubble. So step 1, I'm going to crop this photo, and you need to crop kind of close to the figure all around because we're going to spherize this, kind of distort it like a bubble. And for that to work, I need to crop closely around the figure. Click on the check mark. And now I will go to Filter, Distort, Spherize. And this is a slider, and you can kind of see how much in this little animation what that's going to look like. I experimented, and up to 100% just distorts the figure too much, so I'm suggesting somewhere around 56%, but yours can vary a little bit. And so now I have this sort of distorted bubble look. Now we need to select the figure. I'm guessing the object selection tool will be your best bet, but yours might vary slightly. All right, I have that figure selected. I'm just going to copy it, Command Control C. Go back to our bubbles and paste it in. Use my transform tool to scale it down. I think I'll put this figure in this bubble here. Remember, you can rotate by hovering your mouse around the corner. It's going to have to get pretty small. Something like that. I'm done. And then it looks a little bit pasted on top. So again, we're going to go to that layers panel and go to overlay again. Overlay is our friend. Although you can try some of these others. They might look better for your particular photo, but for mine, I liked overlay. And what that does is it allows us to see the figure, but also allows the bubble highlights and colors and so on to show through. So it makes it look like the figure is actually in the bubble. And I'm actually going to, I don't like how tiny this figure is, so I'm going to crop this document a little bit so that the figure is a little bit larger in comparison to the overall thing. All right, then we're going to go to our next figure and do the same thing. Remember, we're cropping fairly tight around the figure, like that. Filter, Distort, Spherize. Selecting with my object selection tool. Copying. pasting into my bubbles. And maybe I'll put her in this bubble down here. Check mark and overlay. And there we go. It's a little bit too light there. I might not do overlay on this one because it was just, you couldn't even see the figure. So experiment a little bit. I think lighten might work. Yeah, lighten works well because I can see the figure but still have the highlights on it. So fill those bubbles with figures, animals, whatever you'd like to fill them with, and have fun.